In other news, Dementia Joe goes down to New York, talks about the climate, gets laughed at.
How dare you!
Stacey Abrams, racism, targets black men with misinfo.
What the fuck?
Of course it does. I'm Jazz Berganzo, and this is What's Next. Happy Monday, everyone. Jazz Berganzo here, another episode of What's Next. Hope you guys are doing well today. Over the weekend, you had Joe Dementia go down to New York, talk about climate change, of course, getting rid of fracking and getting laughed at. While you have in Georgia, Stacey Abrams, of course, failed governor candidate once again, talk about racism and how it just targets black men. Well, because of course it does, with misinfo. Here we go. This comes out of Breitbart. Joe promises climate activists at rally in New York, no more drilling. President Joe Dementia told a climate activist on Sunday that he will not allow any new drilling in the United States just days after complained that the oil companies are not drilling enough. No more drilling. There's no more drilling, Biden said, speaking to a climate activist as he finished up his rally in New York for Governor Kathy Hochul, who is a clown in her own right. I haven't formed any new drilling. A young woman standing in front and center held up a sign protesting Biden for allowing drilling on federal lands.
Thank you. No more drilling. There is no more drilling. I haven't formed any new drilling. No,
The clownery speaks for itself. The activists responded to Biden by noting that there is still offshore drilling in the Antarctic and off the Gulf Coast of Mexico. That was before I was president, Dementia said. We're trying to work on that and getting it done. Biden's comment to the climate change activist differed from his statements on Wednesday when he blamed oil companies for not drilling enough. That's why it's called dementia. We go from that to this clown. This comes also out of Breitbart. White House spokesman bottoms. Black men are being targeted with misinformation. Former Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, who now serving as a White House senior advisor for public engagement, which of course did not exist during the Trump era. Interesting. Said on Wednesday's broadcast of MSNBC's The Sunday Show, because it is on Sunday and it is a show, that there is definitely a target towards African-American men with misinformation. Saturday on MSNBC, Georgia Democrat gubernatorial nominee Stacey Abrams, who of course is going to fail once again and running for governor. What we all know is that the untold story is that this tight race is neck and neck by 52% and over in 2018. We do not believe it's because of a deep well of enthusiasm for my opponent, which of course is fact. We know black voters are discounted. And this year we know that black men are a very targeted population for misinformation. Anchor Jonathan Carpin said, I'm just wondering why Stacey Abrams is focused on misinformation being targeted at black men. It makes me wonder, is she not getting the black support that she needs in her race against Brian Kemp? Bottom said, listen, Jonathan, I think that Stacey's spot on with that. I listen as my kids watch NBA highlights and whatever else I watch on YouTube, and I hear the misinformation being piped in. My 12-year-old, my 14-year-old, my 20-year-old is getting it. There's definitely a target towards African-American men, not just to give them misinformation, but to make them so discouraged that they won't show up to vote. And again, I've been a candidate before. And again, I've lost before. I was 7 points down in the polls going into the weekend election. I won by more than 800 votes. 800 votes. Technically, that would constitute as a recount, but just me. Because people showed up to vote.
Spoke with my colleague Ali BULLSH yesterday on black voters in Georgia. Have a listen. We'll talk about it on the other side.
While the polls are always going to tell the story you want to see, what we know is that the untold story is that this is a tight race. It is neck and neck. Black men have increased their participation rates by 52% over 2018. And I do not believe it's because of a deep well of enthusiasm for my opponent. We know that black voters are often discounted. And unfortunately, this year, black men have been a very targeted population for misinformation, not misinformation about what they want, but about why they want what they deserve.
And so, Mayor Bottoms, I picked up on that because I'm just wondering, Stacey Abrams' focus on the misinformation that's being targeted at black men. And it makes me wonder, is she not getting the black support she needs in her race against Brian Kemp?
Bingo.
Listen, Jonathan,
And that's all I needed to hear. My thoughts. First, with dementia, going down to New York and talking about climate change. And of course, you had the one activist saying, don't drill, don't drill. And he goes, I won't drill. I won't do it. A few days before, I will drill. I will drill. So that is what you get out of dementia. More clownery, more buffoonery, and of course, more destruction against the American populace. With Stacey Abrams is not getting the black vote. She's just not. She's getting less of the black vote than she did when she ran in 2018. Why? Because black men are more informed about her than they were back in 2018. That's why you have more black men and black population voting Republican. They are going to vote red this November than they did in 2018. Just like Latinos are voting more red this year than they did in 2018. So when it comes to minority vote, Abrams is behind the 8 ball right now. Kemp is leading. Multiple polls have stated that Kemp is leading anywhere between 5 and 7 points. So it's not a comfortable lead, but it's a big enough lead for Kemp to win his reelection. And once again, Stacey Abrams will go down in flames because, of course, she is the clown. And with that being said, I'm Jasper Gonzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more just like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.